Hi guys, welcome back. Something a bit different today, always trying to spice it up. We're going to talk about statistics today. This is hopefully going to help you with your fireball game as a Sagat player and maybe your normal use. If you play a different character, you can use the basis of what I'm talking about in this video and apply it to your character. But we're talking about stats. Stats are important. I've mentioned before I used to play a lot of poker. And to be good at poker, you need to run a lot of statistics in your head, and I think there's a lot of similarities with fighting games, as far as you need a lot of skill and a little bit of luck. So why stats matter in fighting games? Well, they can tell us what the better players are doing and what the poorer players aren't doing. Even though you may think you're copying someone, we actually have an extremely good resource now, and to be fair, it was a nightmare at start, but Capcom have fixed up the CFN now, and we're going to dive into the CFN. We're going to get you to look at your stats and compare them to Bonchan's stats. I'll be comparing my stats to Bonchan's stats, and it's a good way of knowing how far or how close you are, because you may be doing a lot of the right things, but just not winning. That's not a sign of... it's not about the winning or losing. You just want to play in a way that will promote winning. It's a little bit like a sports team. Yeah, you want to play well, and playing well the results will come. Now, if we have a look here, we're going to be using the ranked stats. Now, I don't play a lot of the ranked mode, as you can see from, is it cumulative? Yes. So 668 matches I've only played on the Gentleman Finn Sagat account for about 19,000 LP, which is pretty decent, I guess. 65% win rate. So I'm tracking alright, but I don't play the ranked mode very much. I like the long sets in the lounge. That's where I get a lot of my learning. The ranked, I guess, is good for that slight pressure situation. There's a lot of things wrong with the ranked mode, but anyway, we're not here to talk about that. What we're here to talk about is that we will need the ranked stats. So you go to the ARM, check out the guns, boys and girls, if there's any girls watching, and we want to go down to... We'll start off with the fireball game. So we're going to go, if you move down, I know you can't see me pointing at the screen, but to attack data, move usage rate, the second one, not the normal attack usage, the move usage, and go in here. And this is my version of Sagat. What we're interested in for this screen primarily is the shots. Now, as you'll see, there's a percentage spread, and you can compare... We'll be comparing my percentage spread to Bonchan's. Obviously, I've already done this, and thankfully, my shot game is pretty good compared to his. But I would expect it to be good. I've been studying Bonchan for a long time, a very long time, years and years and years. So, and all the videos I've made in the past actually weren't using statistics, but it's nice to see now that what I thought back then is captured in the statistics. So it's not just like I'm telling you or Bonchan's using a lot of this thing. We can actually physically see now what is happening. So as far as your shot use goes, obviously there's a spread here, and my spread is close. So the light punch high shot, do not need it. You do not need this shot. Same with the medium punch shot, is not needed at all. You can see my percentages is 0.68 for the light high shot and 0.34 for the medium shot. We do not need these shots at all. I've probably thrown them shots in a couple of games randomly because you're bored, you know how it is. But your main high shot, as you can see from my statistics here, is 7% with the high fast shot. I'll explain all why, the reasoning, in a minute, but this is just for the statistics point of view. Look at your stats right now, so maybe you can get up your game while you're watching this video, or write them down later, and look at your spread. So as you go down, you've got the low light tiger shot is the next highest use, and is the second highest use of all, so that's at 9% for me. Medium shot, don't need them. You don't need any of the medium shots. The variance in speed between the shots is not large enough for it to matter. So if you never use the medium shots, you are not missing out on anything at all. And obviously our biggest shot by far, outer space miles, is the Grand Tiger Shot Fierce or heavy kick version. 32% for me. So my shot game goes 32% high, heavy, low shot. Next in line is the low light, and then closest to that is the high punch. 3 shots is all you need to play Sagat. Those 3, that is it. Now let's compare that to Bonchan's. Go into the CFN, go to Rival Search, search using Fighter ID, type in Bonchan. If you don't know why I'm using Bonchan as an example, then you have not been listening. Bonchan's the top one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. View fighter profile, again, check out the guns. Bonchan obviously, hang on, cumulative rank matches, 13,000. I'm not even sure I've got that many games in total. 80% win rate is absolutely crazy good. But this is a huge sample size. My sample size was good. 600 is enough. It's enough realistically. You only want, I think, a few hundred games is enough sample size. The percentages should match up regardless of the sample size once it gets to a certain point. So at 13,000 matches, you will see Bonchan's shot game, or I was going to say Bonchan's shot game mirrors my shot game. My shot game mirrors Bonchan's shot game very closely. Again, because I've been playing characters like Sagat for a long time, and I know how the shots work and how to control them, and that's what I'm passing on to you. So if you look at his light punch shot, again 0.4, it's about the same as me. Medium 0.4, again was, so what I said, you do not need the 2 light and medium punch shots at all. You don't need them. He's used them a few hundred times in 13,000 matches. High tiger shot fierce, the fast one, we do need that. That is an integral part of our shot game, although not as integral as the low ones. You can see here the low light shot is at 11%. Was mine's 9 or 10. Doesn't use the medium low shot at all. He's used it 300 times in 13,000 games. And again, his Grand Tiger shot, overwhelmingly the large part of the shot game, 34%. So you can see his spread, or my spread, is almost identical to Bonchan's. And I didn't engineer it like that. I didn't go out to copy Bonchan's stats. I just copied Bonchan's style of play and what was effective and what I've learned, and it marries up with what Bonchan is doing. So if your statistics look like this, then your shot game is probably pretty good. Although this is just usage, this is not where you stand and when and why to press. I'll explain this in a bit, but just of the pure usage of it, you want to get your shot game looking much like this. So let's explain, what does all this mean? Why are we using these shots? Okay, we are in the training room, and now I'm going to tell you why the statistics look like they do. So half of the reason I thought about making this video was one of the guys in the Discord said, can you have a look at my matches? And I seen him using the high light shot, the one we already know that you should never use. Why should we not use that shot? Well, it offers the least benefit of control and the least benefit of likelihood to hit. And it also has other weaknesses. Sagat can be hit low, and the character can crouch under the shot. Every weakness that a shot can have, the light high one has it. We can't throw another shot while a shot is on the screen, right? So you cannot throw another shot until that is gone. Not to be confused with, you're probably thinking, okay, so what's the difference between the low light shot, which we do use? And if you've watched my other videos, the character has to react to that. They have to jump, they have to block, they have to use a move to get through it. They have to do something. The light shot, by the way, is how you set up Kara baits. So I've told you that before, but you want to use the light shot like that from a distance that they will recognize what it is. It's a bait. You're baiting them to jump up, and then you either Kara or you anti-air. But yes, the light high one, they will just walk under that, and you're under pressure now. You can't throw another shot, or if you can, the startup of it is going to get stuffed because they're right in your grill now. Do not use that shot ever. Like I've said, the medium shot, it's not fast enough. There's not enough variance between the shot speed for it to matter. Now the high fierce, we do want to use that shot. It does have the same weaknesses as the slow one. Bearing in mind, all three shots recover the exact same time. There is no difference in the frame data. That's something beginner Sagats think, that you recover faster throwing the slow shot than you do the faster one. Not true, they're all the same. It's just the speed that changes. This one, the high shot has a big hitbox on it. It's bigger than the low shot. I'll see if I can put the hitbox viewer in. I don't think I'll have time, but if you look at my frame data video, it has them in there. The low shot has a small hitbox, the high shot has a big hitbox. It's good for stopping moves that beat fireballs because it's harder to get through. It also recovers faster than the low shot, so you're unlikely to get jumped on with the high shot, but it does leave you open to the lows and the moves that go under, sweeps, things like that, people walking under. So I would say that the high shot is only at 9% because it's really only used when a character has some kind of fireball beater or some way of getting around fireballs. Now obviously I've spoke about the light though. The heavy, this is your bread and butter. The reason is quite simply that you're using this like a giant poke. So say about here where we can't reach, it's a big poke and it's fast, and the reason we need it to be fast is because there's less chance of the slow one hitting them if they stick something out, say recovery even. This can actually whiff punish. If they've whiffed a button, it will catch them. So again, your bread and butter, your low shot, is because they have to react, and we all know that if you've watched my zoning video. They have to do something, and even if they block, they get red chipped and pushed back. Not the same as the high shot. So that is why the shots are good and bad. I know that's very brief, guys, but the video will blow out if I don't call it there. So that's why this shot spread is like that. So let's have a look at the normal moves. So guys, on to the normal moves. This is where I think I can improve, and I've looked at Bonchan's stats and I immediately know why. It's something I subconsciously know, that I'm using too much of one thing and not enough of another. So if we go down to attack data, normal attack usage, so the one at the top, my spread is similar to Bonchan, but there's a couple of big differences, and that's what I'm going to try and improve on. And I'll explain what I think's happening. So standing light punch is about 6% for me. Very good button. It's our Punisher, so it's going to be naturally high. It's involved in our combos. You can whiff it to fake in your fireball game as well. So you do need to use a lot of standing light punch. Standing medium punch is at 12% because it's our combo starter a lot of the time. You're not going to use it in footsies. So bearing in mind this video is more to do with the footsie game rather than the up close game. It's more of a zoning type tutorial. But the medium punch is going to be high. The standing hard punch is extremely slow, and that's why I think I've only used it 0.77% of the time. I think Bonchan's would be very similar to that, but we'll flick over to him in a minute. Standing light kick is the big one here, 5% for me, and from I think memory Bonchan's is way up. Standing light kick is probably Sagat's single best button, and the fact that that is lower than medium and hard kick for me shows me something about my game, that perhaps I'm a bit scared when characters are in the mid-range and I'm using the larger buttons to keep them away. My standing medium kick is at 11 and the standing hard kick is at 13. Now, both very good buttons, standing medium kick and especially standing hard kick. It's extremely fast, hard to whiff punish, but perhaps a bit of overuse on the standing medium kick, which is still a good button. It's just a bit slow. Again, we'll jump into the training room and explain what I think the statistics mean. Crouching light punch is only 4%, not really used. It's more of a dash stopper. Crouching medium punch, 14%, massive. Now this is a footsie button and that's why that's that high. I do buffer a lot of medium punch fireballs because the crouching medium punch is basically Sagat's Shoto crouching medium kick. It's his replacement. So where you would crouching medium kick fireball with a Shoto, Sagat's is a punch, just in this game mind you. But a big button, also used for some meaties. Crouching hard punch again, not much use at all. Too slow. Crouching light kick is only at 1.8% for me. I think this is a spammable, what can I say, scramble stopper that I should be using more. And I think we'll have a look at Bonchan's stats. He's probably using it more than me. Crouching medium kick, it's too slow for me. I've only used it 3% of the time there. Not surprised. It hits low, which is nice. Low moves are epic in Street Fighter 5. Karen, Kami. But Sagat's is just too slow. Leaves him open, and we'll find that out in a bit. Crouching hard kick, rubbish. Sweep, 0.9%. Too slow. Good for throwing out. Sometimes hard to whiff punish, but not good for me. Now let's jump into Bonchan and see how we should be using our normals.
Rival Surge.
Bonchan. So we'll see here. Bonchan is using more standing light punch than me by quite a bit. Well, I was 5, he's 8, so not off the charts. And standing medium punch, he is less than me, much less, which shows me, I guess, perhaps Bonchan is favouring more light pressure up close than the mediums. Although I don't think there's a drastic swing there either way. Standing hard punch, very low. I was 0.7%, he's 0.67%. That signals to me that that button, as we already know, is not very good. It's just too slow. Now this is the big one that kind of took me back. And it shouldn't really, because standing light kick is Sagat's best button. He's using standing light kick 15% of the time, which I think is his second most done thing after low tiger shot, low hard tiger shot. So basically 34% low hard shot and 15% standing light kick. 50% of Bonchan's game is low tiger shot and standing light kick. That's worth pondering, I think. That's revealing. Like that, I don't think it's surprising. He can control matches very well, but it's for it to be such a difference, such an integral part. I didn't expect to see it that high. I didn't expect to see 50% of Bonchan's game be two things. But that shows you where I'm falling down. I am not using standing light kick enough. I'm not. It's a quick button, and we'll jump in the training room and I'll explain to you what I think it means. Standing medium kick, he's down on me. He's at 8%, I was at 11. Not a drastic difference, so I'm maybe being a bit harsh on myself there with the standing medium kick. It is a good button, it's just a touch slow. Standing hard kick, he's at 9.6, I was at 12. I was at 13. So I'm maybe getting a bit spammy with a hard kick, as my friend Dime would tell you. He hates that button. But it's a good button. It is a good button. Crouching wise, I was surprised to see his crouching light punch up more than double mine. Perhaps I am favouring standing light punch as my shimmy breaker, as my wake up button, and he's favouring crouching light punch. In fact, I know he is, because he uses crouching light punch, standing light kick into the DP on the counter hit. So that's something I'm going to have to improve. When I wake up button a lot, I find myself pressing standing jab, and I think Bonchan uses the crouching jab. I think that's the variance in figures there. Crouching medium punch, he's at 13.2, I was at 14, so we're nearly dead on. So my medium punch usage there is fine. I'm using that button correctly. The bigger one I did mention is the crouching hard punch, too slow, we know that already. Crouching light kick is at 6%, whereas I was at 2. So again, he's using a lot of light buttons, whereas perhaps I'm sometimes selecting a medium. That's maybe why I'm getting blown up close sometimes. Crouching medium kick, he's at 4.5. He's kinda figuring. I think I was 3%. We've both decided that button's a bit shit. Good on you, Bonchan. And crouching hard kick is at 2%, whereas I was 1%. So he favours it slightly more than me. But that's the button spread. What does it mean? Alright, let's dive in. We are going to pick Bonchan's costume.
Sagat, you challenge the king.
A tribute to the king. V-trigger doesn't matter. Very briefly explain what all this means, guys. So, I don't think I'm using enough of that, and the reason is quite simple, and I've explained this before when I did a Daigo breakdown, is that it's very hard to interrupt that button either via whiff punish or start up with a crush counter. So I think what's happening, even though my kick figures weren't that different to Bonchan's, this was way up, so I'm getting, and perhaps you are getting counter hit and crush countered here, pushing this one, when in fact maybe we need more of that. Even to stop the dashes, it's a bit of a dashy game. I'm going to need to up my standing light kick usage way up, and so should you. I don't think we can doubt Bonchan. Yeah, that's basically the reason. It's just too fast to whiff punish, to crush counter, to counter hit. You're very unlikely to get hit, and the range is also quite good, so I think that is the reasoning there. This was the other one, crouching jab. When I stand up a lot of the time, I'm pressing standing light punch, but I think I should be using crouching light punch. Bonchan does the counter hit combo. Let's turn it on, just so you know. You know the one. This one. Oh, she's blocking. That one. So when Bonchan wakes up, he's using a lot of that. I guess if you're not confident with a DP, you could use a fireball, but I'm going to try and integrate that more in my game. But generally, wake up's a sticky spot. What else did we have that Bonchan? We figured these were too slow. And that was really about it. I don't want to go too deep in there. I think the main one was just that I think overall he's using a lot of quicker buttons, whereas perhaps I'm using more slower buttons. And perhaps I think maybe as Sagat players, even though he has a lot of different buttons that do different things, maybe we're relying too much on the slower type stuff. This is obviously required. You'll end a lot of block strings, even though they're not true, with the crouching medium punch. So compare your stats, guys, see how you go. I hope this video was interesting for you. I know it's a bit of a ramble, but it's good to see concrete evidence of how a good player is playing. There's obviously way more to it than just using something. You have to use it in the right spot. But for now, guys, I hope that's a start for you, and I hope you enjoyed the vid.